If you were looking for a one-press button build, just get out of here now, because that is not what this is. This is a hybrid build which actually allows you to effectively utilize all four of Trinity's abilities, or as many as you can handle. This is not a min-max build. You will not be the best at anything. You will not be the best at EVing. You will also not be the best at blessing your allies or stripping armor from the enemies. However, I would like to show you all some tips regarding a modular hybrid setup for Trinity and Trinity Prime, which can be customized to fit your own individual playstyle. You can call this build whatever you prefer. I personally call it Trauma Trin or Gladiator Trinity, as they're fair descriptions for the siege-based combat medic playstyle. But this is all about having more fun, and I think it would be more interesting to hear what other players would call it than to make up a bunch of names myself. So let's get to it. This build was designed to maintain its supportive elements of gameplay while increasing the damage output capabilities, which ultimately shines its brightest during public matchmaking or solo play. Even still, it's tremendously fun with a team of friends or random encounters with a fellow Trinity player. So, we have Blind Rage to achieve 199% power strength, which I will say by itself is enough to reduce the time to eliminate heavier enemies significantly when the foes are connected to her link ability. Okay. And I would like for you to note, for stripping armor, you will want to have the abating link augment equipped, and also in order to fully remove all of their armor, 223 power strength will be needed. And if we use the growing power aura mod, we can reach that goal. But that is if Trinity can land status prop. And it needs to be with a weapon, because currently her abilities will not proc growing power, and nor will the bullet jump mods. Okay. And I would also like to note that while it is very possible that a teammate could trigger growing power, their shared aura effect to you can't see it. So there doesn't appear to be any visible icon for that at the moment. And, you know, we could just stop here and just call this a link build, albeit an improvised one. But you've already probably noticed that she has almost 100% regular stats across the board. And why did I do it like this? Well, you may already know that Trinity is very well balanced and fun, and a very fun frame to play, fresh out of the box. But she can also be quite thirsty for energy, particularly while using an overprotective or link setup. So I would say that with Vampire Leech and a decently high power strength level, you may not need the same ability power efficiency that I have aimed for here. But to counter this, we can actually use Streamline and Fleeting Expertise, which, by the way, you could actually use in different combinations of using Primed Continuity and Fleeting Expertise. Just food for thought. If you'd like to maybe decrease your duration and play more of like a EV trend like playstyle, and let's say you'd like to increase your ability duration, you could actually equip. Oh yeah, my bad, I just kind of like said that backwards, so I'm not going to edit that out. I'm just going to let you know that, yeah, what I meant was you will increase it, not decrease it, So if you want to go more EV trend, you can just go ahead and max out fleeting expertise, get your duration down more, or you can pop in prime continuity and fleeting expertise, and you can actually have more duration. Alright, so I corrected myself. Let's say that's good enough for now. I could put a robot voice in here, but I'm not making threats. Okay. I would really highly recommend that you just experiment, especially with these dual stat mods. There's more than just two. And get creative. See what you can come up with, and enjoy it. Okay, so you might notice that my duration is kind of low, which I think is particularly great for taking on foes in smaller groups with the link ability, but will also require a close monitoring of one's energy supply, or a nearly perpetual cycling of EV in between Link and Blessing, which are 75 and 100 energy cost at the base 100% efficiency. This requires 225 energy for each 3 ability rotation, so it is a good idea to remember to cast Energy Vampire, and it will cost you 50 energy, or you will lose your damage reduction and redirection effects that were keeping you alive and doing damage. So I felt that having lots of energy was critical to my own personal style, so I chose Quick Thinking with the addition of Gladiator Finesse. This is to help safeguard Trinity's energy supply, in case you had wondered why these were chosen. But you may decide on equipping 2 other defensive mods, or you could even see these as more modular slots, if you are so bold. Let's wrap this up, shall we? You could really use whatever you like in the Auxilia slot. Trinity Prime can achieve all of this whole setup without adding any additional forma, if you don't plan on using the Auxilia mod slot or maxing it out anyway. However, she has just enough space after changing her aura polarity slot to match growing power. In the future, I may add a dash, so I can swap Energy Siphon or Corrosive into the aura slot, but I'm running Endurance Drift for the extra 15% energy max. And as you can see, it's not currently max. That's because I like to test each little percent. But anyway, also, I was going to say this for the very end, but I'll go ahead and give you a side note. 15% energy max and rank 10 prime flow from rank 9 prime flow will give you 25% for 20,000 endo, and this is like maybe 900. Okay, so just take a note. 15%, 25%. Totally not needed. You can do it. I also chose this because I really like the parkour velocity effect, which kind of seems to smooth out some of Trinity's less quick animations at times, although I would personally recommend something like Speed Drift if you're looking for a consistent boost to her ability cast speed. I'd like to end by briefly mentioning again, this build utilizes weapons very heavily. And while I do recommend you all to experiment with special features exclusive to certain weapons, including the gimmicks, I do not recommend you rely on gimmick alone. Trinity will be cycling abilities quite often, so I'd imagine you will want to be doing decent damage and taking the opponents down before it's time to recycle again. Thus, I feel you should consider above all else to maximize your fun with this type of build. It's to find a duration that will match that will be suitable for your siege style. My favorite weapons to use in general play so far is the Vectis Prime for its long-range stopping power, and it's great at clearing straightaways, hallways, that good stuff, plus heart snipers. The Pox for when groups of enemies cluster together, or to reduce heavy enemies' health even further with viral and radiation. And I like the Orthos Prime. It's a quick melee, and it's got some really nice range. Thanks a lot, and I hope that helps you guys. Let me know if you thought this build was fun, if you thought it was too difficult, too easy. Tell me what you think. Tell everybody if you think this build is fun, or would you rather just push one button, because that's totally cool. You're very, awesome. Either way, let me know. Thanks.